Oh, yeah, because they're kind of rubbery. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have Polly Pockets?
I didn't, but my cousin had a ton, so I would go to their house. I wasn't much of a doll person growing up because my sister was like a little too much older than me. She's like 5.5 years older than me, and so when I'm 5 and she's 10, she doesn't want to play with a 5-year-old, and so on and so forth. And so I would have, like, if I had dolls, I'd have to be playing with them by myself, which made me feel lonely, so I just didn't have dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't think, like, the dolls were your friends?
No.
You had real friends?
Did I have real friends? Like, a little. It depends on what age. Depends, like, and then were they good friends? Debatable, you know. But it's really fine. No, not that bad. Yeah. Anyway, so she had a lot of Polly Pockets. She had a lot of, like, the little clamshell guys.
Case.
Yeah. And so when I would go to my cousin's house, we would play with them. Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome back, everybody. We're going to ignore the fact that it's been way too long since you've last seen us, and we're going to get right into a very special show. I don't know. I'm not going to call it an episode because I don't know if this is going to be... This is not going to be a traditional podcast. So, starting, like, what, 2 months ago, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
We were anticipating the cinematic masterpiece that is going to be The Sheep Detectives that came out on May 8th. And we decided that we wanted to read the book 3 bags full. We were going to read the book, and then we were going to watch, we do a book club style, then we're going to watch the movie and compare and do movie club style. And so that's what we've done. And we're sitting here, unfortunately, not May 8th. A couple setbacks because Mother's Day. And I got sick. But here we are. And what's today, May 20th?
Yes. It's May 20th.
May 20th. And we're here. So... let's just get right into it. Amelia, what are your opening thoughts?
Okay. So, basically, if you guys remember, we're just going to hold it like this the whole time.
Whenever one of us is not talking.
If you guys remember, we tried doing a book club for a book called Pony Confidential. And we were like, oh my gosh, cutesy little cottagecore cozy mystery. Oh my gosh, little horse, little pony solving a mystery. Isn't that so cute? And then we were reading it, and if you recall from the book club segments, whichever ones got posted, I don't know if any of them did.
I don't know if a single one ever got posted.
Well, basically, we got like halfway through, I think, and we had probably, I think, 2 segments. One where we were quarter way through, and one we were halfway through.
Yes.
And we were like, you know, I don't know if I really like this pony. I don't really know if I like the owner. I don't know when the mystery's coming in. It was just kind of, it wasn't really what we were thinking what it was. And so it fell off. It flopped, okay?
It flopped.
And this one sounded, you know, kind of like what we were hoping for. And the fact that the movie was called The Sheep Detectives, I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah. That's our style.
I think we can rely on it. Side note, I mentioned, so my cousin, she works at Barnes & Noble, and I mentioned to her at our book club meeting, I was like, oh, you know, my friend and I, we were trying to read Pony Confidential, and we were not vibing. And I explained why, and then she was like, oh, well, that makes sense, because when we shelved it, we put a little note that said, like, oh, for people who like BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, that's not the vibe that I was wanting for my horse.
No. And I think calling a book Pony Confidential misleading. I think the whole back cover, like, I feel like that could have been conveyed a little bit more.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we got this book, and we were ready to read it, and we did read it. Oh, and then guys, there's like,
yeah,
you little guy. Oh, he jumped over something. Oh, a bird landing on him.
I did it pretty bad.
I think he's going to sleep. Oh, it's nighttime. Oh, and he's up again. Okay. Anyways, so that's cool. So, when I was reading this, when I first started, I was trying to add, like, book tabs to see if I could, like, try to solve the mystery. Like, maybe I could mark down a clue or something. So, like, but then the book tabs were kind of not great quality because they weren't sticking onto the page that well. And so I don't even remember. There was a book tab at some point where it showed, like, how I was color coding. I don't know where that thing went. I guess this was supposed to be a character. I don't know.
Characters.
But
on the characters page.
Yeah. I think this is a clue, I have like a striped one. I don't know. I tried for a little bit and then I kind of gave up on that. I was trying to solve it and then I with using the book tabs, and then I kind of gave up because of the book tabs not sticking on. I'm kind of glad that I wasn't trying to solve it because I don't think it's necessarily a solvable mystery.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And it's very, very sheep focused. It was cute.
It's really sheep
very
forward.
character driven.
Yeah.
Not really focused on the suspects or the murder at all. But I was vibing with it. with it. A lot of times I was kind of like, what's going on? Well, you're just in sheep. But anyways, you go on.
I will say, I really do. I mean, obviously, it is the drawing aspect of the book, but I really like that it's obviously the perspective of the sheep. I think it's pretty funny. I found myself laughing a lot just because it's not even really jokes. It's just there's just really wholesome comments of the sheep being I actually don't really care what's going on. yeah. It's like every time you'll get 3 or 4 paragraphs of Miss Maple figuring things out, and then the author will just be the sheep don't care, they're eating grass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's that's awesome, and it's just really wholesome in that sense, and it's just kind of heartwarming. And I don't think, at least for me, the shtick never gets old where it's they're sheep, and it's oh my god, they're sheep.
What are you gonna do?
It doesn't ever get old for me, so I really like that. It's just a really good vibe. Like I said, it's whimsical, which is what we were missing from Pony Confidential.
Yeah.
So I just really want to mention that. I will say, as far as me following along for the mystery, there was no hope, and I don't know if it's. I'm not going to sit here. I never stood a chance, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's because of the book's writing by any means. I think a lot of it is the fact that this is the first full book I've read in a long time, and it was just my sort of literacy. I was going to say media literacy. This is just literacy. My literacy skills have dwindled since school. But there were parts where I was like, I think I know what's going on. But it was kind of confusing because part of it's oh, well, I haven't read a book in forever. Part of it's oh, it's a mystery. It's supposed to be misleading. And then there's another layer where it's the characters that you are, the perspective that you are listening to it from, the sheep, also have no idea what's going on.
Not a clue.
The Pony Confidential did this too, which I didn't like when they did it, but I do like when this book does it, where it's I don't have an example because no annotations for me, but sometimes they would describe something as if it's this foreign thing, which obviously for us as humans is a common thing.
Yeah.
And so I think it does it well here because it's actual from a place of genuine curiosity, whereas the pony from Pony Confidential was just an asshole, so he was freak this thing. So there was some things where it's oh, they're describing this thing that's so foreign to them, when in reality it's probably really simple to me, and I'm kind of getting lost in that. And again, I'm not blaming the book. I looking back, I will go back and be oh yeah, they were describing a shovel or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the fact that
the ring in the grass, right?
Yeah. Well, so there was a couple things that I was
spoilers.
Let's just get into it.
3 bags full.
Yeah. From this point forward, we're gonna get into spoilers for 3 bags full and maybe the Sheep Detectives movie. But so there was a couple things the dolmen. I didn't know what the hell that was.
Oh.
They kept describing being under the dolmen, and I literally took me to page 300 where I was you know what? What the fuck is this thing? And I looked it up, and it looked like freaking Stonehenge.
Am I spelling this right?
I think there's an E between L and N.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe not.
I think I just Pokemon.
No, then wrong.
Dolmen.
No, wait, sorry. Maybe it's No, not Chris Dolman. It might be Dolmen.
Dolmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a freaking. It looks like a Stonehenge.
Yes.
And so I looked it up way too in my defense. I should have looked it up the first time I read that word. I didn't though. And so I had to rearrange my whole what does this metal even look like halfway through the book. So there was that. But that was hard. And then obviously this wasn't confusing, but just an example of them describing something. When spoilers. When later in the book, when Rebecca is taking care of them and they're describing all the weed, and it's this light that's next to her thing, and all this grass or whatever, blah, blah blah. That was pretty funny. But that was one of the examples of something oh, what is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say it was, first of all, okay, I think we're far enough into the video that I can say this. most of the time when I was reading this, I was high. I would just like, I'd get home, I'd take an edible, and then I would just dig in. And so I'd be reading and I'd be like, like, is it me or is it the book? I think it was both. It
has to be both.
I regularly read while high. Like I regularly like watch movies and stuff, and I'm not that dumb. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it was me and the book. But I did say to Danny, like, briefly in a text where I was like, okay, like, we were talking about our favorite characters, and I was like, Miss Maple's more of a plot device than anything, but we'll get into it. And here's me getting into it, because basically, like, it's multiple POVs. So you have different sheep, and you're in their heads. You've got Othello, you've got like Mopple the whale, you have a little bit of Miss Maple, you have some Zora sometimes. Those are like pretty much the primary players. And it would be like especially Mopple, I felt like he really did not know anything. The fact that he was known as the sheep who remembered things, I'm like, okay, but like he doesn't know it to remember.
Yeah, that was kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
I like how it was like, it was literally like Mopple obviously has like some character traits, but he is literally like the notebook that Miss Maple brings with her.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, okay, so the squad going into town to go and do some digging is gonna be me, Othello because he's brave. Zora because like, oh well, she's my gal.
Yeah,
my bestie.
That's my girl.
That's my bestie. And
that's
then
my bestie
and then Mopple because he remembers everything. And then basically we were like going through the POVs, and like some crazy stuff would happen, and it became a pattern where I would be confused and I'd be like, it's fine, Miss Maple's gonna explain in like 20 pages.
No,
like
that's real.
Yeah,
I'm literally like, I'm gonna wait for the recap in like 2 chapters.
Yeah, because I'd be like, I do not know what's going on at all. And then like everyone's talking gibberish or just like really focused on grass or something. And then Miss Maple is like, guys, have we not thought about the fact that like X, Y, and Z happened? And I'm like, thank you. Thank you, because I was not thinking about that. No, I actually didn't know that happened. So thank you. Thank you for explaining that the thing that they were talking about that has no end is a ring.
Is that what was that? Because remember how they described an object as the thing.
Yeah, that's the ring.
That's the ring? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember being like I still don't know what the thing is.
Yeah, they were like, it has no end, and then someone else was like, that's not true, like if it had no end it would be like all like the world would be filled with it, and I'd be like, oh my god, what is this? and then it's a ring. It's a ring. So
but they don't know what rings are, they're sheep.
Anyways,
yeah, but let me, I want to go through a brief. So at the beginning of the book they have Dramatis Ovis, which is like their little cast of all the sheep characters, and I'm gonna do a quick roll call.
Okay.
And I want us to say what we think about, because I'll tell you one thing, I forgot some of these names.
Okay.
And can I just say, I finished this book like 2 hours ago. I had like 15 pages left, and I read it on my lunch break.
Oh.
I had been consistently reading it, but
we were supposed to go on Saturday. Oh well, I guess you were sick, so you.
Well, because I was supposed to finish it last Wednesday, to get ready because we were gonna watch it on Saturday. But then we decided like the day before that we were like, let's not do, because we were going to do virtual book club. Yeah. But then we were like, let's just do all of it in person one go. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll read it. I'll finish it on Friday. Oh, and then I got really like deathly sick on Friday, and I hurt to even like read words. So I was like, my head hurt so bad. I was like, I'm not going to read this.
And you know what? I'm glad that this movie like did well in the box office and ratings wise, because I think if it was like a little bit of a lower key, it probably would be out of theaters by now. Yeah. With the way that things go, like, we would, and we definitely wouldn't be able to find. It would only be like, at 10:30 in the morning.
Right,
I don't. Yeah. So I'm glad. But okay, all right.
So let's go through. So the first one, it's order of appearance, so it's not by weight in the story. The first one is Maud. Do you remember Maud? No, don't remember Maud. Sir Richfield. He's an old ram. He's pretty funny. I'm not gonna do. They have the descriptions.
Okay, I remember.
Sir Richfield. You remember Sir Richfield?
Yeah, I remember Sir Richfield.
He's silly. I like him. He's kind of funny. He's just old, and he's very forgetful. And it has there's some comedic moments with him.
They respect him, but they're also
respect him. It feels like they respect him because they have to. They're like, it's Sir Richfield. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, it's actually really funny because it doesn't really feel like they respect him until he's like gone that one time, and they're like, well, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? Okay, Miss Maple. She's like the lead ram in all of this. She's like the Sherlock Holmes of it all. But like Amelia says, she really has not that much of a character unto herself, that she's not just like, she's the voice of reason for the sheep.
There was like a bit of a backstory, like memory for her, where like it shows why she was like the youngest sheep to ever get a name from the farmer.
Yes.
Because she was like really smart, like licking off of his waffle.
She likes some maple syrup. That's why she's Miss Maple.
Yeah. So she's Miss Maple.
Well, yes.
But like I felt in general like, yeah, more of a plot device than anything, especially because we didn't see her connecting the dots ever. Like she really was just like, guys, it's just so obvious that so and so is so and so, and I'm like,
yeah. Also,
okay.
Can I just a quick nitpick? The fact that she brings Mopple around to be like the memory because no one else can remember, presumably including her, she can't remember.
Yeah.
I think she even makes a comment. She's like, "Well, I won't remember, but good thing Mopple's here." But it's what peeves me a little bit is that you can't be like, "I don't remember," and then when it's time for your monologue, be like, "Mopple, what did we say about blah blah blah?" Like, you obviously remembered it to freaking bring up the point.
Well, that's kind of funny because I think they had a bit like that in Zootopia where like the giraffe, like they go to the nudist colony and then the giraffe is like, oh, talk to the elephant remembers everything, and then like the giraffe or whoever is being like, hey elephant, like do you remember when that guy came in and he was like, no, and he's like, no, you remember he had like this and this and this, and meanwhile like the fox and the rabbit are like, and yeah, so I think that's kind of what they were trying to do, being like, Mopple remembers everything, but like really like,
but he's just silly.
Yeah, he's just around.
Okay. Heather, don't remember Heather. I remember her name. I don't remember what she provided. Cloud, nothing.
Cloud just sounds adorable.
Cloud just sounds cute, yeah.
Like a sheep named Cloud.
Mopple the whale, I mean, kind of the goat of the book.
I think we both said he was our favorite.
Yeah, he's our favorite. He's just silly. He's played by Chris O'Dowd. You know who that is?
Yes.
I love Chris O'Dowd. I'm excited for his character.
Famous Irishman.
The Irishman. The Irishman of all time. Othello, very memorable.
Oh, okay. So
one of the only like characters.
Here's my time to speak about Othello. Please. Othello's gay, right?
So here's the thing. You texted me that. No. I'm not disagreeing. Just gonna say that right here. But it's funny because you texted me that before I got to any hint of gay Othello. So I was just like, oh, okay. And then like literally like 3 pages later, it was, I'm assuming you're talking about in the flashback, he keeps talking about this gray ram that like really influenced him.
Yes.
That like really changed him. Yeah.
Yes. I wish
But.
Yeah.
Is he not talking about Melmoth there?
No, he's talking about.
Because he talks about the gray ram, and then when Melmoth shows up, he's like, that's that gray ram from my past, that mysterious gray ram. Remember?
Yeah.
Or is he just comparing them because they're both gray rams?
I'm pretty sure it is Melmoth, because Melmoth is like, a legendary ram who disappears. So Melmoth is a bit of a nomad. Like, he like comes and goes, basically.
Yeah.
And so I believe that Othello, or was it Ramses? We don't get to know Ramses that much.
We very rarely know Ramses.
Okay. So it was definitely Othello that I was like, okay. Anyways.
Yeah.
Couple different rams going on.
There's a lot of rams.
But basically, like Othello. Jeez Louise. Yeah. Othello would be like, oh, like that ram, like, I still think about him to this day, like, oh, he's so special to me, whatever, and I'd be like, okay. And then when Melmoth showed up, he's like, you know, and it's like, I'm pretty sure Melmoth is like the voice in Othello's head, right? Like telling him,
I think that was that was the impression that I got.
How to be a good leader and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, all right. You know, he had that much of an effect on you. I see you, King.
Otherwise, he is a main character. He has like subplots. Mm-hmm. Like he ventures off and does his own things. Zora, she's there.
She's there. I thought Zora maybe was into Mopple.
Oh.
I thought maybe that was a little bit of something going on.
There's some negging there for sure, because she's a little mean.
Yeah,
so if there's anything, it's negging.
I think when he like disappears and comes back, she's like, it says something about like, oh, she's like absentmindedly like nibbling at him or something, and I'm like, oh, cute.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Ramses, I remember the name. I don't remember much about the character. Lane, don't even remember the name. Sarah, don't remember the name. This one just says a lamb. So yeah, probably I do remember.
A lamb is the one who they were like, I'm so fucking annoyed at this lamb because the lamb basically was born outside of like the birthing season. Like was
that's the winter lamb.
And the winter ways there.
There's a lamb and there's the winter lamb.
Okay.
Melmoth. Now let me talk about Melmoth. I just want to say Melmoth shows up. So Melmoth is his reputation precedes him because they talk about Sir Richfield talks about Melmoth. He's like, my twin brother. He left. He freaking died all these years ago. Whatever, right? And then like he becomes like this ghost story where it's like, oh, don't do blah blah blah, or else you know what happened the last time Melmoth did that and then he died. You know what I mean? Like it's like a ghost story for kids.
Yeah. And
then Melmoth shows up, and I don't remember why specifically, but I remember reading the scene where he shows up, and I'm like, they're cutting Melmoth out of the movie, because I was like he just seems like such a random character. Like it doesn't seem like it's affecting the plot at all. And then like I thought that the next chapter is a backstory where he's there when another guy gets murdered, and I'm like, oh, okay. Melmoth's a plot device sheep as well. But I do like Melmoth. I like his vibe, like this old sage ram.
Okay, I should have annotated this book more so it would be easier to find things, but I was trying to find somewhere where Othello's gay, so that you guys would understand what I'm thinking about, right?
And you're not crazy.
There's the ram, the voice in his head, he's like kind of mad. So Othello's angry, and the voice in his head, Melmoth, is like, don't get mad, like that's not gonna help, you need to like keep your cool, you gotta be smarter than this, whatever, right? And the voice in his head is saying like, you need to think of hay, you need to think of all these happy things. Yeah, think of the way a mole's coat shines, think of the sound the wind makes in the bushes and the feeling in your stomach when you trot down a slope, think of the way the path smells ahead of you, think of the freedom the wind is blowing your way, blah blah blah. Or if you want to keep it simple, said the gray ram, think of me.
Oh, I do remember.
Isn't that so, like, that's gay.
That's gay.
That's gay.
You're gay.
The ram is gay. Othello thought of the gray ram, and his anger retreated behind his four horns where it belonged. He's gay. Like, that's, it, like, and the thing is this book was translated from German, and it was published in 2005. So, like.
Yeah, it's an old book.
Pretty ahead of its time.
Shall
I say.
Could be the first ever book with a gay ram in it, maybe.
Possibly. No, there's got to be a gay ram in the Bible. At least one.
Probably like one of the parables.
Yeah.
That
awesome. Ram was gay.
And he said, let that ram be gay. All right. Okay, Cordelia, remember the name, nothing else.
Yeah.
Maisie, don't even remember the name. The Winter Lamb, yeah, they talk a lot about the Winter Lamb that I thought it was going to be a bigger deal later. Not the case.
I think the Winter Lamb like said something valuable one time, and they were like, Winter Lamb.
They said Winter Lamb. But I don't remember what it was either. I think it was like she asked a question, and they're like, "That's a good question."
Yeah.
Willow. No, don't remember. Gabriel's ram. Oh wait, I do remember the ram, but Gabriel's sheep. Do you remember? Well, that's not on the list, but remember Gabriel?
Yeah.
Remember when he comes in and he has like his own fucking sheep, and they're all like, they're all really weird. I was so confused with that for the longest time because I thought it was one of those instances where they're like, oh, I thought the author was like describing a different animal that they didn't recognize from the sheep's perspective, like, oh, they're weird looking sheep. But no, they actually ended up being sheep. But I was like, well, how could they have been that weird?
They're like different breeds of sheep. I think maybe the implication, this is only hitting me now, I think maybe the implication is that these sheep, the
Gabriel
the
sheep,
Germatus Oves sheep, George's sheep.
Yeah.
To me, I keep mixing up George and Gabriel.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, George's sheep, I think maybe the reason why they're so smart and thinky is because he reads to them every night. And so the implication is that Gabriel's sheep don't get read to, and so therefore they're dumb and like not like sentient. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I get you.
Anyways, especially because they're like,
I see what you're saying.
The sheep, George's sheep, they're like, okay, I don't know that word, but like I know this word. I can figure it out.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
And then the last one on the list is Fosco, who, definitely remember him. He's like a main character in like the last scene.
That sounds like a Muppet.
Fosco, yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Now, can I say something that hit me while you were just talking about the Gabriel sheep?
Yes.
We didn't even for a second explain what this book is about.
Okay.
Like the general like plot, like the log line.
And the thing is, you had to be there. So.
And the thing is that you had to be there. You've seen the trailer, and you're picking up the pieces.
Okay, I'm gonna give the most briefest plot summary.
One sentence.
So basically, the book opens with this farmer he's found dead. He was stabbed in the heart with a spade, and the sheep find him, and everything is from the perspective of the sheep. So then the town, they're kind of like, they're dealing with the fact that this farmer died, and the sheep are trying to solve the murder because they were kind of fond of their farmer. And so they're doing like some slight investigating. Like they kind of overhear. There's a butcher who maybe killed him. There's a priest that they call God because they think that his name is God.
Well, because they know that everyone refers to his church as like the house of God, and since he's always there, they're like, well, that must be we'll talk about it in a second. Keep synopsis.
There's like a Bible thumper. Her name is Beth. There's not that many other like townspeople, and you don't get to know them that well, but they're around and they're like the suspects. And so then the sheep, sometimes go into town, or they just kind of overhear different conversations. They're trying to put the pieces together. And then, shall we say how it ends?
Let's.
So they were convinced that Beth, the Bible thumper woman, she would often like go and I think give him like prayer cards basically and try and evangelize the farmer. They thought that she killed him because of like unrequited love or like something in that area, and so they end up putting on this giant like charade show at this sheep talent show to try and indicate Beth the Bible thumper. But then what ends up happening is that she's like the humans don't really understand what the sheep are saying, but they know that they're pointing to Beth, right?
Yeah.
And Beth is like, I have to share. And basically the thing is that the farmer committed suicide. I think the farmer was depressed, and it's indicated because he was like really isolated, and he went to Beth and he was like, I came to say goodbye. And she's like, oh, so you're going to Europe. So this takes place in Ireland. When they say Europe, they mean like mainland Europe, because Ireland's
I was really confused about that too. I was like, wait a minute, you guys are already in Europe.
No, I know. To us, it's weird.
So stupid ass Americans.
To us, it's weird, but like I'm Irish. I was just in Ireland last year, and my cousins also refer to Europe as like a different entity.
Sure.
So it's like a thing. Like they're like, oh yeah, it's like we're gonna travel to Europe. We're gonna go skiing in like Switzerland or something, right?
Right.
Which like you can do. Like it's way more accessible when you're already European. But anyways, and so basically like the farmer Gabriel visited Beth and was like, I came to say goodbye, and she's like, oh, you're going to Europe, and he's like, no, and
George, Farmer
instinctively knew. Oh, Farmer George, MB,
Shepherd George,
MB twin.
MB
but basically, he's like, I came to say goodbye, and then she's like, oh, you're going to Europe, and he's like, no, and she instinctively knew that he was going to commit suicide, and so he poisoned himself, but he instructed her, stab me with a spade when you're done, and the sheep think. Once they find all of this out and they're thinking about it, they're reflecting. The sheep think that he did that to kind of like mess with everyone, like have like a jolly good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it ends.
Yeah, that's how it ends. But I had something. What did you say that made me go, oh, I have a thought to this. Oh yeah. But yeah, that's the plot, and I like the mystery, like. I can't really say, because part of me was like, well, were there any hints to him being suicidal leading up to it? And I was like, maybe. I mean, it makes sense that he like the isolation, because like nobody really liked him in the town or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like they barely liked him, or he didn't really like them, and he kind of stayed away and he just hung out with his sheep and things like that. Like that's obviously a sign of mental illness. Like owning sheep is obviously a sign of mental illness. No, but like, so part of me was like, is that kind of like just random? But then at the same time, I was like, I wasn't following well enough to be like, oh, but I thought it was going to be blah, blah, you know what I mean? Like, even, like, I didn't even realize that we thought Beth did it until the world's smartest sheep convention or whatever it's called.
Okay, you find out, like, briefly before then. I don't blame you for not catching it. Mm-hmm. But I think, like, I think that the fact that he was dealing weed or like kind of playing like some sort of middleman thing, I don't know what, that was definitely like supposed to be a red herring, and it worked kind of. I think like I didn't think it was, I don't know, like the big guys, the big weed guys.
Sure.
But I was like, okay, maybe this
big
has to
weed.
do with it. Yeah, I don't think we were supposed to like think that. I mean, the fact that he was stabbed in the spade afterwards was, supposed to indicate that this is a murder. I don't know. I'm not mad that I couldn't figure it out.
For a while, I did think one of the sheep aided in killing him, because one of the hints was you could see a hoof print on his back when he was dead.
Yeah.
And then Melmoth was like, yeah, I was there when he died, or whatever. Someone was like, yeah, I was there when he died, by the way.
Yeah, kind of.
And so, and then everyone was like, oh, so you were there, so no, a sheep didn't murder him, you just were there. And I was like, well, we're just going to take that for granted. I was like, we're not going to circle back to that, like, we're just going to give up that trail or whatever. So part of me was like, there's going to be a twist at the end where it's like, and also I was there.
Do you think sheep can lie? Like, do you think they, like, understand deception?
Deception?
To each other?
These ones, no.
Sheep to sheep.
Sheep to sheep. I gotta talk to you sheep to sheep. I don't know, because I feel like they take everything pretty literally, though. Because, they're like, well, why would you say that?
Yeah.
But they understand deception enough to know that Melmoth ditched them.
Yeah.
He left their asses at the end
He's
of
a
the movie.
nomad. Like,
he can't hold them down.
He's a lone wolf. He's a lone ram.
I will say, I thought if it was a movie, I would have seen it coming, but because it's a book, I forgot they ever said it, which I think was interesting. But I liked that when they read the will, that they revealed that the sheep get the trip to Europe and like all his money or whatever. That was really wholesome, because I remember earlier in the book they were like, George used to say that, one day we'll all go see Europe or whatever, like in flashbacks and things. And looking back, like, it's like very clear, like, we're setting that up, you know what I mean? But it because I kind of caught me off guard because I forgot that they said that. It was really wholesome, and so I like that the book. There was a really nice feeling the book gave me at the end that we ended right before they go to Europe. I think that was sweet.
Yeah, I don't need to see Europe.
I don't need to see Europe.
I don't.
That being said, there is a second book.
Yeah, I did see that. I was like, okay. I would say I did enjoy this book quite a bit. What I thought was going to happen in the mystery solving aspect was that there would be some sort of like goofy partner duo, like detectives, trying to solve the mystery, and then the sheep are like kind of nudging them in the right direction. Like, that's kind of what I thought was going to happen, and that's not what happened.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like, I think this does, the way that it went, it kind of does, and the fact that they actually didn't solve the murder.
Like, that is a good point.
Like, I'm like, I don't know if I would want to read the second book. Like, I think it does better as a standalone.
Well, I'd like to pivot the conversation for the last bit of this to, let's talk about. So obviously we haven't seen the movie yet.
Not yet.
That's what we're doing here.
Not yet.
But I've seen the trailer. Have you seen the trailers?
Yeah, not very recently, but I saw it like in theaters.
Yeah, I haven't.
We're in a garage.
We're in a parking garage.
Because we're gonna go watch the movie. We're in the parking garage for
movie theater. We are in. Just put the address on screen. We're in the parking garage at an AMC dine-in, and we're gonna be dining in for this film. Do you know what you're gonna eat, by the way? I was really hoping there would be a shepherd's pie, and I could really live this movie. That being said, you talking about reading this book, High, made me really want to watch this movie, High. I mean, I obviously haven't seen it yet, and I know Star wants to go watch this movie.
Oh.
And so I'll probably go watch it.
I think Kareen does too. Yeah, I can. Yeah. I think I've only seen one. I saw Bottoms in theaters, High, and have you seen Bottoms?
Oh yeah, I love Bottoms.
Okay.
I've only seen it the one time.
It kicked in once I got to the fight scene, and I was like,
"That's awesome."
What's going on? What I do appreciate, we haven't seen the movie yet, but the movie is less than 2 hours long. It's like
this
closer.
Movie?
Yeah, it's like closer to an hour and a half. Isn't that gorgeous?
Isn't that? They just don't make them like they used to.
They just don't. Okay. Everything is 2 hours and 15 minutes
minimum.
Yeah. Anyways. So
okay.
I'm
so
excited.
I would like to pivot to. So I've seen the trailer too. It's been a while as well for me, but how do we think? Like, what are your expectations going into the movie? Do you think you're going to enjoy it more than the book? Do you think it's going to fall? Where do you think it's going to fall? Where do you think it'll rise?
Okay.
What do you think they're going to change?
Shall I share what I shared with you before we start recording?
I say we share.
Okay. So basically, my mom and my sister already saw this movie. They watched it for Mother's Day. And when they were like, do you want to come? I was like, I can't because I have to go and see it with Danny. Mm-hmm. So then I shouldn't have done this. But when I got home, after they watched the movie, I asked my sister. She was like, I saw the movie. I loved it so much. And I only said one thing to her. I said, did he kill himself? And she said, huh? And so I don't know what happens. I don't know who killed him in the movie. I didn't ask any other questions. It is not suicide. I can say that.
Oh, so it's a whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that changes everything. Okay, so right before we recorded this, Amelia shared that with me, and then, or at least a little bit of that, and then I shared that while I was reading this, because I'm so obsessed with movies and casting, and especially voice acting. I was like, I gotta know who the voices behind these guys and what the cast is looking like, because I'd seen the human cast and I knew like Chris O'Dowd and things like that, right? Hugh Jackman, by the way. What can you say about Hugh Jackman? And so I wanted to look at the cast, and then I was looking, and granted, this was before the movie came out. So then I looked, and it was like, there were names I did not recognize. And I was like, huh. And I said, okay, well, I'm not finished with the book. I said, there's still time. I said, maybe these characters come up. And I said, but then there were characters like that were clearly for sheep that I was like, I haven't heard of this sheep yet. And then I was like, who knows? There's still plenty of book left. And then I got further into the book, and the movie had come out, so I said, okay, let me look at the cast again. Because sometimes it's like, for a movie like that, that's not like huge, it's like no one really cares the cast before it comes out. You know, once it comes out, then it's like final, or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And so I looked again, and then still I was like, yeah, no, these are characters I've never fucking heard of. And then, so I was kind of worried about that. And so now it's starting to seem like it's going to be pretty different. It's not called Three Bags Full. It's called The Sheep Detectives.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I mean, it sounds like the author is a big fan of the movie. She's like, I'm glad they made this movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would be too. So
especially 20 years after you released it, you're like, I'll take that bag.
Apparently, so what I didn't know is
she's got 3 bags full of money.
And this, which, by the way, what does 3 bags full mean?
Hey, I don't know.
Full of, and the only bags they talk about are the last like 50 pages when they talk about the weed. And I think there's more than 3 bags.
This does not really have much to do with weed, to be honest. They just threw that in there.
You know what's really funny, by the way? We're all over the fucking place. I remember when I always do with books, I'm like, how fucking long is this thing? So I always like go to the back to see the last page. I don't look at the words. I just look at the number. But then I saw this, a note of warning, and I did read that. And it said, the sheep of Glenkill are exceptional sheep. Ordinary sheep do not tolerate alcohol, drugs, or tomatoes. I must ask my readers not to tempt sheep to take any narcotic substances or plants of the nightshade family. If you really want to give a sheep something nice, try a moderate amount of bread or genuine grass.
Yes, because one of the sheep in the book does like eat a joint.
Well, yeah, there's a sheep eats a bag of weed. Then there's rams that eat tomatoes, which I didn't know they couldn't eat tomatoes. And then there are and then there's that one ram that fucking chugs fucking Guinness as his little trick, remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, but I read that before I read the book, and I said, what the fuck happens in this book? Anyways, so.
That's funny.
Back lock-in. So I feel like this, I think the movie's it sounds like it's gonna be pretty different. But, and I wanted to pivot to this because what you were saying, the movie does seem like it's gonna be, because there's that, what's his name, Nicholas Braun plays that cop. And they do mention, I forgot his name. They do mention his name in here, but he's such a minor character.
Yeah, he only shows up at the end at the talent show.
But in the trailer, he's like the guy solving the case, and he's clearly like stupid, and the sheep are like, ugh, this guy.
Yeah, I think.
So I'm like, okay, so like it definitely seemed more like you were saying, where like, oh, there's gonna be a detective, and then the sheep are kind of nudging him along. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm honestly, I expect that I'm going to like the movie quite a bit, and I don't mind that they're changing certain, characters. Or hopefully the sheep, like, we still have our Mobble, we still have our Othello, and he needs to be gay.
They have to make him a
little gay. If you want 5 stars for me, I need to see some yearning. Otherwise, it's 4 tops, okay? I'm sorry. I'm just saying it right now. And I have a lot of followers on Letterboxd. So
that's true.
People are going to be waiting for my
review. People know me.
So, anyways, I don't mind that they're changing it, because can you imagine this is a movie, though? Like...
yeah. Well, that's another thing is that I was going to say earlier. The thing about... I wanted to mention this when the guy was... We would mention that they call him God. There's a lot of character, not like a character. There's a lot of character in this book that exists because it's a book. And this is me like reading the first book that I've actually liked forever. that I'm like, wow, books can be awesome. But it's like, because a lot of the jokes come from the sheep not understanding, but it's because the story's not in first person. It's not like like there is multiple perspectives, but when Miss Maple is the perspective, it's not I blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like there's no first person, so it's still like this other narrator talking like through the sheep's mind of being like, I don't know what this thing is, like this guy's God, things like that, and it's like, well, you can't. How is that going to translate into the movie without a narrator speaking over it, which also loses the charm? You know what I mean? There's a lot, like there truly is a lot that will be lost in translation that I think, but that is not to say that I don't think a lot will be gained in translation either.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot will benefit from it because I love movies.
Yeah, and it was like 94% Rotten Tomatoes or something.
Oh no, it's high both in critic and audience scores.
Yeah, pretty.
Critics
pretty
aren't raving.
So, yeah, my expectations are high, but I don't expect it to be to the letter because obviously I know that it's not to the letter.
Yes.
And that's okay.
And that's fine. I'm really hoping there's a big cardboard cutout of it that we can take a picture in front of.
Yeah. Otherwise, we have to take a photo of like us holding our books for the thumbnail.
Yeah, we'll take a picture of that after this. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Okay.
Do we have anything else we want to share, or is this? That clock's wrong, by the way. We have.
True. It's 7:01. Okay, we have time.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Okay, Othello needs to be gay.
Othello's got to be gay.
Miss Maple, hopefully a little bit more character, or whoever Miss Maple is.
Yeah.
In the book, and in the movie, I'm hoping.
It does seem like the human characters are pretty. I mean, now the parts they play and how major of a role might differ, but I think otherwise they look like they're the same characters.
Yeah.
But like we were talking, I don't know if we just mentioned it already, but we were before we started. Like, Miss Maple's not even called Miss Maple.
Yeah.
Her character's called Lily.
Yeah, and but I think. Did you remember seeing the cast list? Was there someone named Mopple, the whale?
Yes, I did.
Okay, on my head, I'm thinking that like a screenwriter was like Mopple and Maple too close.
Oh.
Too similar.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's funny. I do know for a fact he is called Mopple. Like, I can't say for certain that I saw the cast list, but I do remember seeing an interview with Chris O'Dowd where he briefly was like, I love Mopple. That's my Irish accent. But he was like, yeah, I love Mopple as a character. So, unless I guess he was returned just as the book. But, yeah. I'm interested because what I do know about this movie is that the writer, I want to say, I don't think the director, but the writer, his name is Craig Mazin. And, that struck me because I was like, what? And the only things that I knew him from that he made were the Last of Us show and the HBO show Chernobyl.
Oh.
He made those two, and I was like, what? But apparently, way back, I couldn't tell you what they were, but apparently back in the day, he used to do comedies, and actually, Chernobyl and Last of Us was the heel turn for him. But apparently he wrote this movie like 17 years ago, and he's been trying to get it made since.
Wow.
So he was first on the scene for Leonie Swan. He was Leonie Swan #1 day one supporter.
Yeah. She looks like she knows a lot about sheep.
Yes, she does.
What was I going to say?
Oh, wait, no, I thought she was French.
That does remind me of, maybe she was living in Germany. She wrote it for Germany. I don't know.
She grew up near Munich. That's in Germany, right?
That's Germany. Yeah.
And that's on Germany. Okay.
What was I going to say? It kind of reminds me, when you talk about that, it reminds me of, the Hunger Games, the famous book series. The author for that, she wrote at least one, I believe, Max and Ruby episode.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I saw her name come up, like, written by this. It's either Max and Ruby or Frog and Toad. It was like one of
both
those.
Both bangers, by the way.
Yeah, but
her name is on the tip of my tongue. What's the name of her? What's the author's name?
I'm gonna look it up because I also didn't remember.
It's like literally the tip of my tongue. The tip of the tongue and the tongue, the teeth, the tip of the tongue and the tongue.
Games. Oh, I want the book. Suzanne Collins.
Oh.
I'm gonna look up Suzanne Collins TV show. I don't know. TV shows.
I think this movie is gonna make me laugh out loud funny.
Yeah, she wrote for Clarissa Explains It All, Clifford's Puppy Days,
Whoa.
Little Bear, maybe it was Little Bear. It was something that my nephew was watching. Little Bear, Oswald, Wow Wow Wubsy.
Whoa, Wubsy.
Yeah.
Wubsy,
Anyways,
wow.
so we all contain multitudes.
We all contain, and if That's gonna be the lesson from this today. So yeah, that's I'm excited. I say we get out there. I mean, it's a little early, but okay. So thank you guys for this half book club and half us house gabbing. I would recommend you read this book. I
also would.
If you have whimsy in your heart and a spring in your step, read 3 Bags Full by Leonie Swan. And then we're going to have a very similar review after the movie, which we're about to watch in 20 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see you in like 2-ish hours.
We'll see you in about 2-ish hours.
We're going to be different people.
The people that you're watching in this video, these are not the same people that you're going to be watching in the next video.
Literally not.
And in many ways, the people in this video are already different from the people in the last video from like 6 months ago.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're back. It's 3 hours since we've last seen you, and we have thoughts. But first, we stopped at Sonic, got ourselves some little drinks.
Very dainty drinks.
Very dainty drinks, petite demure drinks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I just want to say, while we were watching the movie, at one point Amelia does turn to me and says, "Oh, we're gonna be talking about this."
Yes.
So why don't you start?
Okay. First of all, 4 stars. It was capped at 4 stars because they did in fact made Othello a ram called Sebastian, who was like an asshole in like kind of a lovable way, and old.
Because I thought Othello was young, right?
Yeah.
His vibe was always
he's young. He's a young lad. Not a boy, but he's a young man, right? This guy, not so much. Old, kind of an asshole. We'll get to it. And also, most importantly, not gay. And he dies. So, okay.
Yeah, okay, first of all, spoilers. We'll get that right out of the way. You didn't click on this video and not expect spoilers, so...
Come on. Alright, so basically I said we will be talking about this because Mopple the Whale, who in the book is very much a comedic character, and it's like he's so obsessed with food, and he remembers everything, ha ha ha. But like as we were talking about, it's a bit because the others do remember things, but they just act like he's the one who remembers things, right? This time they were like, okay, so like ha ha he he funny, but what if we explore more about the price of remembering and and like what it means to be the only person who are like to like shield your loved ones from the truth because they asked you to, like, and the fact that every single sheep that they have lost and have mourned, he's the only one left to mourn them because everyone else decided to forget. Like,
it's so funny that it goes from he is the sheep that can remember to the movie where it's like he's the sheep that cannot forget. Even if he chose to, he could not forget.
Yeah.
He is trapped.
They turn it into like a magic trick where they can choose to forget things.
Yeah.
Which isn't, I don't think, really how it went in the book.
No, not at all.
So, yeah, once they were kind of getting into that where, like, Lily was like, who was Miss Maple, by the way, and we'll get into her name.
We'll get into that.
Like, she's like, oh, like, do you remember when my parents became sheep? Tell me about when my parents
that was
became
crazy.
Sheep. And he's like...
He said yes.
He remembers the horrors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that.
No, yeah. Like, right off the gate, too, they're like... He's also not even, like... In the book, it's like he's fat, he eats a lot, like, he's fat, he's big, he eats a lot, and he remembers. He just remembers.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even that big. Like, he's fluffy, but he's not that big of a ram. And
definitely not a whale.
Definitely not a whale.
Mopple the
Mopple
whale.
the whale. They don't call him that. They just call him Mopple. But also, like, they took away his like whole eating thing, which does make it weird for that one scene where he just decides to like he's just start foaming at the mouth for that one carrot that like ends up being important because it reveals the sheet or whatever.
Yeah.
But still, it's like this is already out of character for him.
Yeah, in my opinion, like any of the sheep would have gotten stuck between the fence trying to get the carrot. Like,
yes,
none of them were distinctly carrot motivated.
Right.
So.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a step back.
Okay.
We're gonna start with some overarching emotions for this movie, and then I'm gonna get into characters and scenes and shit.
Okay.
So overall, as a movie,
Adorable.
I really enjoyed it. It was very funny for me. I was laughing. It was
Snappy.
wholesome. It was. I enjoyed the pacing.
Mm-hmm.
The pacing was all in a day instead of like over the course of like fucking weeks, like in the book or whatever, like days. Yeah. And it was all in like one day. It was short and sweet. It was simple. As far as staying faithful to the book, it keeps some of the names. It keeps the human characters mostly all there. It's hard to say because part of me wants to say it's not at all faithful, but that's not true. I don't think that's that fair.
There was another farmer, another shepherd. There was a butcher. There was God.
There was God.
And then there was someone named Beth.
Yeah.
Who did have a connection with George, right?
Yes.
There was a winter lamb.
Yeah.
There was a ram.
There was a winter lamb.
There was Cloud, right? And Zora. Zora was a lot younger than I thought she was. Like in the books, I thought she was an adult sheep. They make her like a lamb. They make her like a teen.
I think she's played by Bella Ramsey. I think she's young, isn't she?
Wait, that's Bella Ramsey?
Yeah.
They could have made Bella Ramsey a ram. Wouldn't that have been cool?
No, wouldn't that be something?
Okay.
Wouldn't that be groundbreaking?
Okay, so like a teen sheep.
Oh no, you're right because a ewe is an adult sheep, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says Zora, a black-faced sheep, has a good head for heights. The only ewe with horns in George Glenn's farm.
Actually, maybe a ewe is like a teen. Hold on. I guess Zora's kind of a teen name. Okay, it was definitely, and I definitely, me looking up Zora.
Me looking up Zora Lamb.
Oh my gosh, I can't type. No, it was definitely like they had, just a female sheep.
Okay.
Female sheep.
So
a fully mature female sheep. Huh.
So she was an adult. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
anyways.
Well, so a lot of the characters are the same in that sense. Like all the human characters are all there. I don't remember if the lawyer had a name in the book or anything, but she's a little bit more of a character here just for the sake of the will and the plot of that.
I thought she was the killer.
You did, and I thought for a second I thought that was the way it was turning with that reveal at the end.
Yeah.
But anyways, so there was that. A lot of the characters get sidelined, and I think that was fine for the sake of pacing.
And is faithful to the book.
What was that? Like, yes, that is true.
The characters don't.
But I feel like already there was like a small group of sheep that were main characters in the book, and the group was even smaller for this.
Yeah.
Because in the book, it's like they care the most about Miss Maple, Mopple, Othello. I would argue like Richfield and Melmoth, and then like Zora gets some screen time. There. Probably about it.
A little bit of Cloud.
A little bit of Cloud, and then the Winter Lamb is just kind of there for the energy. But this movie really only focuses on Lily, aka Miss Maple, Mopple, and Sebastian, aka Othello. Like they're the main three. Now, also I want to say I did love Mopple in this movie. I think Richfield is my favorite sheep from this movie. He was
really the one who kept telling the Winter Lamb.
Well, listen, I didn't like his vibe, but I didn't like that. But he was old. He's from a different generation. I just thought he looked silly. I liked his design, and I thought he was funny.
Silly.
But no, I didn't like the sheep like racism or whatever it is that was going on for the whole thing. But but anyway, so like. There's a lot of things that don't happen. Like there was a lot of like imagery and symbolism with the abyss and Zora from the books that just doesn't get cut, or I'm sorry, that totally gets cut. Which is again fine because it's like it works for the book because it's a freaking book. But when you're gonna put it in an 1.5-hour movie, we don't need it, right?
Yeah.
But another thing is that like I don't know how you felt about this, but as far as the mystery of it. Which, on one hand, it's like, I thought, it's not ruined because it is different from the book.
True.
So it's not ruined for us having read the book. But it feels less like it didn't really feel like a whodunit because, like, I wasn't led to believe any of them did it besides Rebecca until the twist. You know what I mean? Like, the whole movie is like the sheep are trying to prove that it's her, and then they're trying to prove that she's innocent, and that's really it. Because I don't get a lot of motivations for any of the other characters.
I think I disagree. I think, like, because what we knew was, they briefly covered it. You know, the priest had, you know, he had accepted, like, money from him to help with the shady adoption, like, going to find the children thing. So we knew that. We knew that, you know, Caleb, the shepherd, who is Gabriel in the book, we knew that he had cut his lease, right?
Yeah.
We know the butcher wants to kill the sheep for butchering purposes. And we know we had the inkling that Beth was, you know, had unrequited love.
Sure.
So they covered it all.
Yeah.
They just, you know, it was just a pretty quick montage in terms of interrogation.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they definitely had their motives. I just mean, like, the movie as, like, I feel like normally when you want to watch a murder mystery and that happens, there's, like, story beats to give each of those motives, like, room to breathe for you to kind of be like, oh, okay, well, I'm starting to see. Whereas on paper, it's just like, yes, they all could have done it for sure. But it's like, we're spending so much time focusing on Rebecca that it's like, well, she either did or didn't, guys. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because as far as from the sheep's perspective, they're pretty... they kind of flop back and forth on Rebecca, but they're really focused on her for the movie.
Yeah, I guess so.
But at the same time, I also didn't mind it because, again, I think the pacing would have suffered if we went through the whole thing with every single character.
Right.
I think we got enough of everybody.
Right.
It's just that we definitely got more of them in the book, which, again, I don't really mind.
Plus, with addition of, like, the new character, which is the detective / policeman.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Tim Derry is in the book, but he's like nothing. He's the drunk guy at the show at the end.
Yeah.
And that's really it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which he was really walking the line for me on being his stupidity being kind of annoying.
Really?
And being funny. For the most part, it was funny, but there were times where he was. I don't think I ever did get annoyed at him, but I was like, if this goes a little too far, I'm done with it.
I could see if they kept doing the whole, like, you know, oh, you think I murdered him, like, this is your first murder, isn't it?
Oh, yeah,
you think I murdered him, like, that sort of thing. Or like, oh yeah, the evidence, like the forensics, and then, like, totally messing it up, like, whatever. I could see that. I think the thing is that I do like that actor. I do like
Nicholas Braun.
And I think I just thought it was funny whenever he had, like, a stare down with the sheep, like,
that was all really funny. Like
the scenes where the sheep were just like,
yeah, those are all
like,
funny.
oh, what the fuck, like, anyways.
No,
so
I just think the bumbling oaf can get really old, but I don't think it did for me in this movie.
Yeah.
And plus, like, right when he was like, he did, like, lock in halfway through when the sheep helped him out, like, with the book, and he was kind of locked in for the rest of the movie. So I was like, all right, he's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did enjoy him. But yeah. I mean, like I said, as far as movies, I freaking enjoyed it.
What I will say, like, he did lock in, but then it's crazy that he experienced all this, like, weird occurrences with the sheep, and he knows that the sheep are providing him so much information, but when she tells him, hey, a lamb came in through the
that was
through
weird.
The window that they called not a window, I don't know.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, right.
Okay,
yeah,
okay, sure.
Right. And it's like,
you're seeing weird things with sheep. Oh, okay. So I don't know if I'm the only one that sees weird things with sheep in this town.
And it's like, you, like, like, he could have, like, I just don't understand why he literally went so far as to, like, think about it. And he sees the sheep staring at him. He sees the little lamb with the two... Oh, he, like, handed her over to the county or whatever. And then he sees the lamb with the pain. And he was like, hold on. Hold on. And it's like, bro, you know what? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing that kind of peeved me, which I think Danny probably saw me being like, is like, basically, their shepherd dies, and all the sheep are like, okay, this is a lot of pain. I want to forget this.
Yeah.
Already on 3, guys. And Sebastian the Ram, aka Othello, he was like, no guys, you can't forget, like, that's not right. It's like justice, okay?
Yeah.
Which means the good cannot be harmed by the bad, blah blah blah, right? And then as soon as Lily is like, yeah, let's solve this murder, he's like, oh, you little fuckers, you little idiots think that you can solve a murder?
Yeah.
Oh, you think that you can pursue justice like I just told you to do? Yeah, you're a bunch of fucking idiots. And I'm like, what the hell? You suck, man. Like, every time he was so demeaning, I was like, bro.
Yeah.
That bad vibes. What did you do to my boy Othello? You made him not only straight, but also an asshole. But like, kind of like the kind of asshole that like you're like, oh, he's rooting for them, he's helping them, you know, and he is. But it's like, bro.
You know what? I really for a second did think they made him gay at the end when he was dying, and he said, and he was like, I see him. I thought it was gonna be some reference to the Ram from his past, and then it was just he saw George. I was like, all right.
Yeah, they only reference Melmoth at the like when he's dying, and otherwise. Yeah,
like, he just has a flashback of an old ass Ram, which I was partially right in when I read the book, and I said they're gonna cut out Melmoth. No Melmoth at all.
No Melmoth.
I feel like, to a certain extent, with vibes and like in terms like story beats, they kind of did combine Othello and Melmoth into one.
Yeah.
Like, because he has the Melmoth vibe of like being here and then being gone and being weirdly like eerie.
Yeah.
But he has Othello's backstory.
Yeah. But honestly, like, when you take Melmoth, when you combine them, like, you're taking depth out of both characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
Which just sucks. Also, can we talk about the shepherd named Lily after his dead wife, and she was his favorite sheep? Isn't that weird? I could see you naming, like, maybe naming your sheep after, like, your daughter or your sister or your best bud, but your wife, someone who you had relations with. To me, that's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's weird.
I don't think it's that weird, but I think it's weird.
I think it's weird.
Well, how do you feel about then Lily Sheep naming the winter lamb?
Way more respectable, because she did not have romantic feelings for the other George.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Way more respectable.
Yeah, it was just weird when they were like, yeah, and your mother, hey daughter, who got arrested, your mom's name, Lily. Lily.
Yeah.
I'm like, right.
So then, just a quick, crazy, random sidebar.
Right.
So then, I think I did. They had to have mentioned Lily's wife in the book then, because I do remember reading the name Lily. I remember.
I might have to. Well,
I could maybe be confusing when I was like mid book one time, and then I was like, let me look at the cast, and then I saw Lily. You know what I mean? Like, I just got used to reading words.
Maybe. To be honest, like, am I crazy, or in the book he had, like, not a wife, but like someone, Lily came along the path too with her.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
But who's Lily?
But who is? I think
Lily was like the prostitute.
Right, like his like girlfriend or something,
yeah.
Right? What was going on between the butcher and Lily? Yeah, she wasn't really a big part of the book, because like I didn't understand it either, to be honest.
Interesting.
Anyways, so yeah, there was someone named
Anyways,
Lily.
I don't know if they did in the book, but they at least say the words 3 bags full in the movie. But it has literally so offhanded. When she's reading the wool, she says you get 3 bags full of manure, or like fertilizer.
Oh, the fertilizer bags.
And that's when I looked and I said 3 bags full. But I don't know what that. I think that was just a nod to the old title.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So what did you think of who the murderer was? Spoilers! It was He-Man. It was...
Oh, He-Man! It was... What's that actor's name? Nicholas Galitz?
Galitzine?
Galitze? Galitze? I don't know how to say it.
Nick G.
The guy, Nicholas G. Nicky G. Yeah, so they basically made... That was the only human character that they made up for the purpose of... Now, what if he's revealed to be the thing in the second book? Do you think it's a brand new mystery?
I think so.
What else could have happened to those sheep?
We're gonna find out what happens in Big Bad Wool.
But I mean, I think it makes sense. It feels. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me felt like what, like, but it's by the same time it's. It feels like they were trying to be like you didn't even think it could have been the reporter. But part of me was like, in the beginning when he's like, well, he wants something interesting to happen, so like it would make sense for him to, not that I'm like I knew it all along because I truthfully did it. But part of me was like, when he came into town and was like, oh, this freaking festival blows, I was like, oh, well, he wants something interesting to happen, so he's gonna be all over this murder.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, maybe he does it. But I wasn't like, oh my god, I knew it the whole time. So it's, I don't know.
So this is where I get disappointed in myself because I do read a lot of mysteries. It's like one of my primary genres that I read, and I read a lot of books. I think I've read like 25 so far this year. But anyways.
That's 5 a month.
Yeah.
Average.
Yeah, the library loves me. Anyways, I read a lot of books, and I watch a decent amount of movies. So you would think that I would have like, I would understand tropes. I would understand like, okay, a writer would have to have made up this character for a reason. A writer would have had to have made up the fact that the daughter has a mysterious twin brother in South Africa for a reason.
Yeah.
And when I heard like, oh, twin brother Peter Van Leeuwen is here on the phone, I was like, that's weird. That's weird. What's going on? And then it's kind of crazy because then, like a sheep, I forgot about it. Like, because to me, I cannot have like that. I don't have that analytical brain where I'm thinking about tropes and I'm thinking about like why characters exist and what their purpose is and whatever, because I'm too busy like watching the movie. Like, I don't know.
Well, I feel like I'm not going, because I don't read a lot of books, but I watch a bunch of movies. And I don't want to say that I have that. I think I do have a bit of that analytical brain. Like, I'm like, oh, this character serves as like this purpose, both in the story and like as a greater plot point. I feel like I was definitely like, oh, this is weird. Why is there this random new character here that exists solely on the phone? And then I also was like, oh well, but I think maybe that's part of it where it's like it's so like unassuming, like it's just a guy on the phone, like you don't have a face to remember it. You kind of forget about it. You know what I mean? But it also kind of makes sense with the whole, like, they tie it in with, like, he's reaching out to his kids that he's never met. Yeah. So it's like, it doesn't feel that out of place. But yeah, no, I didn't see it either.
And then, okay, so he was going to give his one twin child, $30 million, and then give the other one 300 acres, which he also owns.
Yeah.
And why? Because because they had a relationship? Because they were writing letters to each other?
I guess so.
Because I would also be mad, I'm not going to lie.
I think he's writing letters to both of them.
So then why did he not give...
I think he knew his son sucked. Because he was like, all right, son, you get 300 acres, and then my daughter, you get another 300 acres, and also $30 million.
I'd be mad. I'd be mad.
I'd kill my dad.
Like 5, maybe?
I'd kill my dad.
Yeah.
I'd get not even an even 15. Yeah.
Yeah, even 15, or maybe at least like a couple million.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That being said, is now that we're talking about the inheritance, I'm not saying that I wanted the lawyer to be like, all right, and he gave everything to the sheep, like in the book, but I feel like we missed a lot of. It's not there. It's definitely present, but I feel like we miss a lot of the love between George and his sheep. Like, there's no George's place, which I really liked from the book. Yeah. They immediately are like, all right, well, let's forget about George. You know what I mean? Like, which I get was probably like a comedic thing, and it made sense for them to be like, no, never mind. But like to even have that thought immediately, it's like, are you crazy? And then like there was no big, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think if they just had a George's Place thing, that would have been enough for me.
Yeah.
That would have been really cute.
I mean, the sheep definitely should have been able to go to Europe in the movie.
Yeah. Get them to Europe.
Do they need tens of millions of dollars? Nar.
Nar.
And so, and I think that would have been
I think it's a road.
A little silly. I think the reason why he gave the sheep, all like everything he owned in the book was because like he was
sucked.
depressed and everyone sucked,
And everyone
right?
sucked, yeah.
Crazy. Also, can we talk about how everyone has different accents?
Yeah, let's.
In the end, the journalist, He-Man, he was like, oh, like, I don't live in South Africa, I live in this country. And I was like, what country is that? Because, like, he's Australian.
Uh-huh.
You're, like, British.
Yeah.
You're also British. Oh, but that guy's American.
Yeah.
And then, you know, what's...
It's all very all over the place.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can be from South Africa, I
would
think.
say... And hey, you know, people can move places, but still, it was a little, yeah. And they also just, what purpose do you think they changed the names of the characters? Like, why, like, and also, like, the name of the town is different. Glenkill is what it was in the book, and then it was, I already forgot. Drewburg? What is it?
Sunbrook.
Something, Glenbrook, I think.
Glenbrook.
No. Denbrook?
Denbrook. Denbrook. Yeah, because I was like, Denver. Anyway.
Yeah, they're in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah. I live in this country.
I live in Colorado country. Yeah, I don't get why they would. I don't understand. But
I'm thinking, like, I understand Marble Mabel. They kept Zora.
Also, can I just say
Cloud.
they're a really good duo.
I know.
That's
and
us.
They crossed the
We're
road
Marble.
together, and they were like, "Meow,"
Yeah.
and then they were crossing, and I was like, that was great. Anyways, yeah, I think it's like probably So Marble Mabel, that was good. Othello, they changed to Sebastian, but they also combined him with Melmoth.
Maybe that's why, because they're like, this is not even the same character anymore.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe they were trying to think of like a more. Do you think like Sebastian's more brooding than Othello? Or Melmoth?
No, Othello is so like Shakespearean. I think it quite literally is a Shakespeare name, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Also, the one sheep played by Rhys Darby, Woolly Eyes. He was funny.
Woolly Eye,
Woolly, whatever they call him.
Something.
But I'm
He
thinking.
was in exactly like one scene.
Yeah, but he was a lot of background funny jokes.
Yeah.
But he did play one actually important scene. But
Yeah. They came up with some twins.
Those guys were funny.
Who had sufficient cause for battering.
Yeah.
Like nearly killing He-Man.
I was about to say I think they changed the name of, because I remember there being a background like a kind of insignificant sheep. I just remember there being a sheep in the book that couldn't see very well but could smell, and that was his thing. But I was thinking of Richfield because he's old in the book and he can't really see that well.
Yeah.
But so that's not.
And here, like, his whole purpose is to hate on like a 1-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how he becomes not like the lead ram who kind of sucks. He's just an old man that's there with them.
Yeah, he does kind of lead, you know.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he does move over for George the Lamb.
I just think he was silly, man.
Yeah,
I like the way he looked. I like the way he looked. I like this.
Oh, the inn, like Loki, like the decoration of the inn, kind of gave Knives Out.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And I was like, oh, okay, they want to be like whimsical Knives Out.
Yeah.
Like Knives Out that my grandma probably would like.
Yeah, my grandma. Knives Out for your grandma.
Yeah, my nana.
Shout out Nana.
Shout out Nana. What is it? Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I don't know. Overall I enjoyed it. I think there's not a lot, just because I don't read. There's not a lot of like adaptations that I can compare it to for me to be like, is this like a significant amount of change or not? You know what I mean?
Right. I think
because it's like a ship of Theseus. How many things do you take out and change until it's not until it's a different thing anymore?
Oh wow.
But it's still pretty much the same. I get it's the same. It's the book, right? But I'm just saying, like, you know.
I think it makes it better that they didn't call it 3 Bags Full. I'm not going to go see 3 Bags Full.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a marketing thing.
I'm going to go see. I know, but it's also kind of like, it creates a bit of a separation. It's kind of the quotes around Wuthering Heights,
right.
You know?
3 bags full.
3 bags. The sheep detective.
Wouldn't it be cool if they did more of these? But it's like, you know how in Knives Out, it's like, well, it's Knives Out, and then it's Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. Mm-hmm. It's like insert movie title and then a sheep detective's mystery or whatever. A sheep detective story.
They might.
They might. But as far as I know, there's only one. Do I have a freaking book bag? As far as I know, there's only one other book, though, right?
Yeah. But also, like, they barely went off of this one.
Yeah,
anyways,
they could just make sheep detective movies.
It's fine.
Overall, I think I would. I don't really know. I'd have to compare it to some other movies because my ranking thing on like Letterboxd and stuff is fucked. I'm thinking 4.5. Because I really like it. I think what it loses. Granted, I did like my eyes got a little wet at some scenes. I got a little teary eyed.
Wow.
I didn't fully cry, but my eyes were getting wet. Yes.
Sebastian dying, I don't know. I couldn't feel it that much. Basically, the Sebastian like protects Mopple and Lily from like guard dogs on the other shepherd's property, and they like buy him, and they buy him like one time and he dies. Yeah. But it just happened so suddenly. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I agree. All right, that's going on.
I think if I, how do I put this? Narratively, it does make me sad, but the movie didn't move me enough in that scene for me to get my eyes working. Yeah. Because like I get like if they had given him a little bit more screen time, if I had gotten like one more scene in between him dying and the last time we saw him, I think it would have done me in. Because like otherwise it was like because for the most part it's like you've just kind of been mean, and I actually don't mind his character. I think that he's being mean for the whole like it's like that tough love kind of thing, but he's also angry. You know what I mean? It's like very mixed. Yeah. It's like very difficult, and I kind of enjoy it, but it's like I need a little bit more of a redemption in between before you go from I'm out of here to all right, I'm gonna die for you. Again, like I get why it makes sense and it is emotional, but I just didn't get me to tears. I'm actually like just now connecting the dots that he used to fight dogs, and then he died fighting dogs. That would have made me cry if I was like thinking about that. Yeah. That's funny. That's unfortunate. Yeah, because like I said, like narratively, like the foil of it, like the symbolism of like George saving him from fighting dogs to him dying fighting dogs to save his flock. That's beautiful. Although the big cloud of him at the end was very nice. That was a very elaborate cloud. That was it's a large cloud too. That was like the whole sky. Yeah, she was like, and then it like shifts a little bit. She's like, yeah, that was like a freaking Category 5 hurricane that she saw. Okay, so in terms of comparing it to adaptations of movies that I've seen, right? Basically, the closest one that I could offer is one called Thursday Murder Club. I read the book. Yes, I read the book. I actually read 4 books in that series. There's a 5th one that like just came out. I have it on my want to read. I'm a huge fan of this series. I love it. So I was so excited when the movie came out. The movie, disappointing. 3 stars, really? Maybe. Because like, and the thing is, they were probably more faithful to the story. No, I could say they definitely were more faithful to the story than the Sheep Detectives was. They did change it a little bit in terms of like some things changed, but like all the characters were the same and pretty faithful. But the reason why it was a disappointing adaptation was because the whimsy was gone. The magic was gone. The reason why I love the book so much and I read every single one, gone. This one had whimsy. So this one had whimsy for sure. I think like so long as the vibe is there, then do what you need to do to make it a movie. Do what you gotta do to make it a movie. Get your bag. Get your 3 bags full. But yeah, I would recommend everyone go see this. Everyone loved this movie. I'm glad that it did really well. I actually don't know what the box office was, but I'm glad it did really well. Like critically, like I'm glad everyone liked it. Mm-hmm. Maybe that means we'll get it again. I don't, like we said before, I don't know if I'll ever read the second book. I will for sure see the second movie day 1 this time. Sickness be damned. I'll be watching it day 1. Yeah, I would recommend you go see it, and I'll probably watch it again because Star wants to. So we'll see what I think on the rewatch. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I think ultimately it loses the points because let's be honest. If anyone follows my Letterboxd, I'm crazy generous with my stars. But I think it loses it because what a lot of movies lose me at is just that emotional bit. It's like I need, like if they had done more things for George's place, like if there was more of the emotional themes from the book, where it's like the justice being there for a little bit, that was nice. I didn't need it to be the plot, so I'm glad it was just kind of like the little comments and from those two rams.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. But like I really did like the, I don't know if you'd call it a message, but like that little sentiment from Richfield in the book where it goes from no one leaves the flock to no one leaves the flock unless they come back. You know? That's nice, and I think that would have been a nice like connecting with Sebastian had he lived. R.I.P. Like the fact that he would always come and go, like, I don't know, that would have been a nice sentiment to be like, you're still a part of this flock as long as you come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that ties into what George and his family go through with Rebecca and everything. Like, there's just some more. I needed more emotion, and I think it was a little too worried about being a murder mystery, which is fine, and it did it fine.
Yeah. They definitely chose to go down like the Winterland route for sure, which was a much smaller part of the book.
Yes.
The Winterland was still there, but you get it. Anyways, okay, cool.
Okay, and that's that. Well, thanks guys for joining us for our very first book club / movie club. That was pretty exciting. Mm-hmm. Cheers. All right, see you guys later.
All right, bye.